Okay, so I added another page to the transition project. So let me show you. I made a little change here. On the home page, Creative Clerk, go to Menu. Now also click CSS Transforms Transitions. Now we have two pages. Okay, you can always go back to the home page right here. Okay, but now we have sample of beginning project. That's what we've already seen. This is kind of like what we're going to be working on. But right here, there's a button. You can go back to menu. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to do something like this, because we're going to be talking about transforms and transitions. Actually, I'm going to make that a capital, but hover over the red bordered box and it will transform, rotate by 45 degrees, and the background color will change. This transition will take 5 seconds. So I'm going to hover my, okay. You see how, when I hover off, it goes back. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So, okay, in the last video, we positioned this div and then transformed it so that it would be right in the center of the page. So let's look at this in the code again. You see right here we transform translate minus, that's not exactly in the center, but we are learning this transform translate, and so we translated this by minus 200 pixels to the left, and then this is minus 100 pixels up in the y-axis. So this is position. We're translating it in the value is a position. The property transform is the property of our position. So in this video we're going to talk about another property, translate, and it has other particular values. But first let's go and create a pseudo element. So we have this image set. So that's the div with the red border. I'm going to delete all this comments for right now. So let's create a pseudo element. So on hover, if you're not familiar with these pseudo elements, so when we hover over this element, which is the class of image set, which is the div with the red border, we're going to do something. We're going to get its color, background color, I could have just said background, but I'm going to go ahead and be full about it. So I'm going to set the background color to a turquoise color. That's 00FFFF. Now, because I used the 2 zeros, this is red right here, I could have just used 1. Because the second 2 letters in the 6-letter hexadecimal were FF, I could have just used 1. And the same thing with the third 2, which is the blue color. The second 2 are green. I'm just going to use 1 on that. So what's going to happen is, let's go and look at it. I'll refresh. So when I hover over this, it should turn turquoise. Okay, so let's go back to the code, and the reason it's turning turquoise is because I'm hovering over it. But let's go up here, and this is another property, transition. Okay, now this transform property, that deals with like a form or a position. So what we're doing when we apply the transform, we are going to translate, we're going to move the object, or we're going to rotate it, but in this translate is moves the object. Transition, on the other hand, it deals with time. So first thing we need to do is add the name of what we are transitioning. So we're transitioning background. That's what we're changing. Okay, but we also have to, now we need the semicolon at the end. We have to add a timing okay, because we're dealing with time. Transition is time. Transform is either space or shape. So let's go with 1 second, 1s, and let's see what that comes up with. Okay, save it and refresh. You see now it transitions over a period of time. It takes a full second to get that color, and that's what we're talking about by transitions. So if I change that 1 to 5, save it, refresh, now what happens? A lot slower. Okay, so what we're doing is we're transitioning the change of the background color. But what would happen if we copied this down here, we pasted this? Now we're going to also, in addition to transitioning the background color, we're going to translate this image from -200 to 200 and plus 100. Now the thing is, we didn't declare that up here. We just declared the background color. We're going to transition the background color, but we also need to transition everything. So let's type all. Now that's our new keyword. Now let's save that and refresh. See, it's trying to jump back because I'm hovering off it. It's only going to, let's go like this again. So when I hover over this, whenever I hover off of it, it tries to go back. You see? So what we're doing is when we're hovering over it, we're changing it. But we're transforming it right here. We're going from this value to this value. At the same time, we're going to change its background color from its original color, which was black. It didn't have a color, so it took the body color, to this new color. Okay, and we're going to do it all. We're going to do everything, so we can actually change some more of this, right? So that's the transition. Remember, the transition is time. Transform is space. So think of it like that. So don't get these two mixed up. They're both properties. Their values are different. Now, transform has other different properties, and we're going to talk about that next. So I think the most important thing that you need to learn from this video, or remember, is that transition is a property that deals with time. That's why we have the time here. We can continue to change that. Now, transform deals with space, such as like moving the things. We can also rotate. And we're going to talk about this, more of these transform values in the next video. But I want to show you right here. And then inside the parentheses, we need to put a degree. So let's go 45 degrees, spelled D-E-G. Now, when we hover over it, let's see what happens. Refresh. See, now we're rotating it. So in the next video, we're going to go over some more of these transform property, and we're going to learn some more about the values of this property. Okay, but also we're going to have to get into some JavaScript, jQuery, add class, and some of this other stuff, because it's going to be a lot of fun. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something. And if you like it, then let me know. And you can always, if you have any questions, you can post it down in the comments. Okay, and if you subscribe to whenever I do make a new video, at least you get a message saying, hey, there's a new video out. So help me out, share this stuff. If it's not good, just go ahead and give me a comment too and let me know what's wrong with it. If it sounds bad, if the dogs start barking, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to, keep that video edited out.